Grace and peace to you, the Mennonite Brethren Churches of Canada. It was nothing short of a miracle. It never would have happened without MDS. It's just so unreal. I don't know how to thank MDS. It's amazing how people we don't know could come to help us. It's God sent. That's all I know. That's what Diane Rice of Triton, Newfoundland said after MDS Canada, together with local volunteers in that community, rebuilt her home that was destroyed by fire. Her comments remind me of why MDS Canada exists. Volunteers are sent to be the hands and feet of Jesus to those who are impacted by disasters and need help. Although 2021 was a hard year for us, the pandemic curtailed most of our responses in this country and prevented Canadians from going to the US to volunteer. It couldn't stop us from doing what we could to help people impacted by disasters. Despite the pandemic and the restrictions it imposed, we still responded to people in need. In Ontario, we worked with MCC to promote reconciliation with Indigenous people by providing volunteers to renovate the MCC Indigenous Neighbors Office in Timmins. We also worked with Menno Homes, an organization that provides affordable housing in Kitchener, to renovate a derelict house into a home for a Syrian refugee family. In Barry's Bay, we were able to renovate a house to accommodate a family with a disabled child, creating a safe, sterile, and temperature-controlled space. In BC, we learned you can be off-grid, but not off God's plan when it comes to rebuilding a house. That's what happened after a fire destroyed the home of Cliff and Lydia Trudeau in Cousson Lake. Rebuilding their home was challenging since they live in a very remote part of the province, but with some creative thinking on the part of volunteers, along with energetic ingenuity and lots of prayer, the house was completed last August. Also in BC, volunteers responded to needs in Princeton, where about 300 families had their homes damaged or destroyed by flooding. In Saskatchewan, we renovated the office and home of the director at the West Bank Bible Camp. Said the director about the volunteers, "They showed up with a servant attitude and posture, always asking what they could do for us, how they could serve us." It was phenomenal. They had such servant hearts, he said. Also in Saskatchewan, weather was the big story of this year. Drought affected farmers in that province, especially livestock farmers with cattle. Many didn't have enough hay for their animals in winter. Together with the Ontario MDS unit, we created the Hay West program, a way for farmers in Ontario who enjoyed good weather last year to send donated hay to Saskatchewan. Best of all, it was a way for farmers in Ontario to say thanks, because it was 9 years ago that farmers in Saskatchewan sent hay east to them when drought had an impact in that province. In Newfoundland, MDS Canada supported the funds and local people in Triton as they provided the volunteers to build a new home for Diane and Reginald Rice after fire destroyed their home. Across Canada, we responded through the MDS Spirit of MDS Fund. Through that fund, we provided 81 grants worth almost $207,000 to churches involved in frontline service and people impacted by the pandemic. At MDS Canada, it is our goal to use our core values of faith in action and caring relationships to be a witness to God's love in the world. We invite you to consider volunteering with us and join us in praying for God's continued blessing on our work. Thanks.